guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can probably imagine, we've got a lot of things going on. We always do. And it's always a bunch of garbage. We tend to get distracted a lot. We say we're going to do this, then something happens and we just go completely this direction. But at the end of the day, what normally happens, unless you're the Blue Dragon, is that all the cars collectively, we move the group forward. I mean, sometimes we'll be like on McNugget, we'll go this far, and then it seems like other cars are falling back, and then we'll just, something will happen, like Trojan horse, boom, we start moving up. But at the end of the day, the cars are always further ahead than they were when we started, technically. And that, of course, that depends on your viewpoint. For me, it's all about making the cars the way I like them. I like things very mechanical, very base bones. I'm gonna say mechanical feel, you know, very base bones. I like cars that don't have air. I like cars that are loud. I like cars that feel like a racy street car. That's what I like. I've said this 100 times. I don't do it because it's not a compromise to me. It's the way I want it. If I was to walk into the Ford dealership, that's how I would have ordered it. I would have said, I don't want any of that stuff. I don't want the carpet. I don't want any of that. Just give me the good stuff, in my mind. So anyway, so collectively that, you know, when people say, well, you're just taking the cars apart and cutting them up, so, well, that's your philosophy, not my philosophy. Mine's about going to the track, having a good time, making the cars the way I want them, making them the way they look the way I want them to look, race the way I want them to race, not spend a gazillion dollars doing it, have a good time. That's my whole thing. I just happen to put it on YouTube. Having said all that, we're working on the Rob Zombie car. I expected to be farther along on this car, but I don't know why I even have expectations for myself anymore. I should just go the way I go. I expect to be farther along with this car, but we are working on it some more. And sometimes you got to get it farther down to see exactly what you got. And realistically, this car's pretty bad. I go back and forth in my head between why are we doing this car? Why don't I just take everything off of it and put on the Scotta car? To I just don't kind of want to do that. And I don't know. I go back and forth. So there's no harm in getting the car running and getting the blower on it and getting it more whatever. There's no harm in that. I'm not technically working myself in a circle in my mind. So the justification train has many open seats. All you need is a ticket, and we always have one. So what we're doing now is we're just kind of fiddling around. I'd like to get the battery in the trunk, you know, even if the cable and stuff is temporarily ran, not how ultimately I'll do it, just so I don't have to have it up here where it's a pain in the butt to have it strapped in and all this kind of stuff. I can put it in the back. And I'd like to get the water pump changed and maybe start kind of mocking up the blower bracketry so we can have the pulleys and alternator mounted and stuff like that. And you know, maybe stick the blower on it and put the just to get it running. I know we got to fix the brake, something. I got a brake line or something that's busted, but we don't got to have that to have the car running. So anyway, this is sometimes when a car's like this is almost when I enjoy working on it the most, when it's just a blank canvas like Pro Stock was. You know, I had a lot of fun getting that car running, just getting it running and hooning around in it and then starting to take it to the track. I really enjoyed that part of the process. It was the same with Trojan. I just really enjoyed that whole get it running, mess with it, stuff like that. It's like the same thing here with Rob. So, and I know that the real Rob is anxious to see this car probably doing something besides just sitting around. So in my head, we've got a dyno day coming up, and I like to, you know, I don't care about dyno numbers. That's well known. I don't care what they make. They make whatever. That doesn't justify my car. But I like taking stuff that I think Johnny gets a kick out of. You know, Johnny's like, you know, like the Love Boat. Honestly, I wish I would have taken the Love Boat when we had it the way we have it now, where it'd been a much more enjoyable experience for him trying to work with the clutch and stuff, because I had that all messed up. the van, you know, Krusty, he liked Krusty, Fail TD was kind of cool. And this would be kind of cool because let's be honest, it's a pile. And if we're gonna take it, I'd like to drive it. Just, you know, just drive it up there. Just not have nothing fixed on it. Just have it running with a blower. And, you know, probably put a hatch on it. You know, we can take the hatch off patches and throw in there real quick. But otherwise, just have it ready to go, and it just looked like a pile. This is a bigger pile, honestly, than you guys may remember way back in the day, McBuddy's SVO that he bought when we bought McNugget and Mustang. He had that on the dyno. This car's worse than that car. That's a fact. So, but it would be cool. And you know what? We make more power than he did too. So anyway, let me tinker with it and we'll see how far we get. We're not gonna need that where we're going. This thing, I mean, my God. Oh man. So, you can see how bad some of the stuff is. Anyway, you guys have seen this, but honestly, it'll look better kind of once we kind of just get all the kind of rust and stuff out of it, I guess. Just kind of get it cleaned up a little bit. It won't look great. It won't ever even look good, but it'll look better. I know that's subjective. So anyway, we ain't got seat bolted down or nothing. So I did unplug the horn button so it's not sitting in my lap. Anyway, all right, let me get to work. Hey, thanks for that water pump, Brian. We're gonna use that bad boy. So hopefully somebody's already had the water pump off once. It's got a bolt in it. So hopefully we can get that off. We'll probably fire it up and warm it up a little bit and put a little heat into it to kind of help loosen things up, make our life a little easier, I think. So anyway, let me get to work. Not sure what that is. Probably, I guess, snake eggs. Someone smarter than me will be able to let me know, but we may have had a snake living in here. Slither, look at that. Oh yeah, fuzzy stuff. Hey. Hey, puppet. What are you doing? Oh. Snake. That would have been if this car wasn't named Rob Zombie, could have named it Snake Plissken. Escape from Tussin World. There's no escape, bro. Sorry, no escape. Got a battery cable up here. We ran it down through where the old cruise control stuff went. I say temporarily, that might end up being permanent, but got that part of it. We still got to get it done to the back, but we got this part done, so now we just got to get our cable mounted. And we'll probably put a switch on it at some point, but not right now. It's just more about getting it all where we can have the power to it easier and ain't got to worry about the battery falling out. So anyway, it's getting close to lunchtime too. I'm hungry. Okay, we have finished this up. Doesn't look fabulous. I don't know why you won't expect it to. But we used what we had laying around. I guess maybe that counts for something. Okay, cool. Like I say, we just used stuff we had laying around. Got it all ran. Let me see if, oh dang it, I ain't got the seat bolted down. Get the keys. Son of a. Keys in here. Well, we ain't got enough battery. We're gonna come back in the morning. I know you guys probably can't see me, which is probably a good thing. We're gonna come back in the morning and we're gonna get to work on this thing. Like I say, water pump. We gotta get the power steering looped, get the water pump swapped, and then we can kind of start looking at bolting, seeing what we're going to need to bolt the blower on, stuff like that, and get that situation handled. So, all right, we'll see you guys in the next clip. I know this is super exciting. Well, good morning. We've got the battery charger on, and we just kicked them off. So, what we're going to do today, we're going to try and change the water pump, and depending on how that goes, then we'll start looking at trying to like mocking up the supercharger and all that stuff. We also need to get the power steering situation, the line cut and loop, and a few other things. We're just going to kind of bounce around the car. There's a ton of things to do. I get distracted, so I may be working on one thing and just have a thought and start doing something else. Like right now, I want to take this EFI Life. I want to take the shifter out of it because I don't like that shifter. The wrench. I don't think I have another handle here. Seriously? All right, so anyway, blah, blah, blah. Let me get to work. I wanted to put some temperature in it to help with the water pump, so let me fire it back up. And might be, I don't think it should be out of gas. Don't think, I got some though. So anyway, fire it back up. Put a little gas in it. We also had to, our ground situation wasn't great. I forgot this car has regular motor mounts on it. Just stuff that I have on other cars that this car doesn't have. So I ran extra ground up front. That might help a little bit. Come on, dog. Come on, Rob. Work with me, brother. We're trying to make things better. We just got to get this thing running and get everything running. Like I say, it doesn't have an alternator or nothing on it. So it's just running off the battery and the charger. So we got to get everything squared away on this thing, or get closer. That's the good stuff right there. This car will be running for a little while. Look at that. How much better does that look already? It's got a little temperature in it, so see if we can get it unbolted without breaking any bolts. Before we get started on the water pump, there's one last thing. 12 ounce. Full on strike. No taser for the little kid. That's the one. That's not concealed carry. That's the one you wear on your hip. got it out, or off. Somebody had broken a bolt off in here. So, because there was a shorty in there, maybe they put that in just to make themselves feel good. I don't know. Yeah. If I really felt energetic, so to speak, about taking, I just don't want to take the whole timing cover and all that stuff off to fix one freaking broken bolt. That I'll just do that later. We'll put an extra little bit of RTV around there. So we'll get to that at some other time. So just want to get it, let's just get it running with the blower and stuff on it and just see where we're at. Because then at some point, once that's going on, we'll just, you know, see how far we go from there. But one of the things that we would probably definitely do is get rid of the heads. We swap the E6s out and put maybe the E7s that came off of Pro Stock on here because of the flat top pistons. Leave the stock cam, put those E7s on. They got good springs, and David did a little tiny bit of port work to them, so they're better than this. At that point, then we would probably look at putting the timing chain on it, and you know, some other stuff. It's just, I just don't want to fix it. I don't want to open the can of worms any farther than we already are just with that. But the water pump was definitely something we were going to do. So anyway, let me clean this up, and then we'll put that brand new one on there that Brian sent us. Again, we appreciate that, and we'll be on the way. We'll probably round up some different bolts so we don't have, because we don't need any of the studs. So we'll do that. So all right, we'll see you guys in the next clip. We're gonna have like a 25-minute video of changing the water pump. It's gonna be awesome, and doing a battery. We went and dug through the bolt pile and managed to get the bolts that we needed to replace the factory stuff, which we could have cleaned up if we wanted to, but we didn't want to. I've said this before, if you're a new subscriber or whatever, you probably don't, or if you don't watch all the videos, you don't know anything, or you don't listen or whatever. I'm fortunate for where I work to be able to get bolts and stuff. We don't have every bolt, of course, but you know, a lot of times I can find what I need. So if you're ever looking for a Christmas present, tell your wife to get you a bolt selection, because it's invaluable. I mean, dude, if I literally had to go to Home Depot every time I needed a bolt, I would probably never get anything done. I'd hardly get anything done anyway, but I'm fortunate to have the accessibility to some bolts. Again, you can clean up the factory stuff. I feel like swapping. So anyway, just thought I would point that out. Oh, son of a, what the hell. All right, let me try and get the other one. Let's go. Okay, our substandard. Wow, it's more substandard than I thought. Oh. We do not need this where we're going. Add it to the pile. Like I say, we gotta get, we gotta get the weight off this thing. not, technically, it's not like we're hurting something. That's really nice. Because this is not, thing's not nice. All right, there's our looped line. We just cut both hard lines. Put a piece of fuel, that old fuel line that I don't like. Well, there you go. We put a torque strap on, and then we made a battery cable out of an old cable. Thanks again to Lance for the ends and stuff, because I used them, used all of them. Now we got to clean that up. We also brought over the pulley and a pulley. And in case you're wondering, the blower pulley will not fit into a traditional underdrive pulley. I tried, trust me. Here's one of the things with the standard rotation water pump pulleys that come on Lincoln Town Cars, Grand Marquis, Crown Vics, and Country Squires, Colony Parks, all that stuff, 5-liter cars, is that the bolt holes are different. So if you're going to use your factory water pump pulley, which you technically kind of do, the other ones, the Lincoln one's grooved, weird, you've got to elongate these holes. So we technically won't be using this pulley. We'll use one that we've already modified. So, but anyway, that's just one of the differences right there. Whenever you're putting a standard rotation pump on, there you go. It is on, it's tight. I had to put a few washers on a few of them just to get that little bit of distance, because probably should have ran a tap through everything, but you know what? That's not how we roll. We'll probably have to take this thing apart. I say that like all this stuff's gonna, you know, within a couple months, everything will, it could be, after this thing's running, if we tear it up or something, who knows how long it would be before we do anything or work on it or anything like that. So whatever, it's tight. This bolt actually tightens down into something. I don't know what it's grabbing on, but I ain't gonna, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna question it. So yeah, now we can look at bolting the pulley on, the crank pulley and stuff, and then we'll put the water pump pulley on. We got to get a bypass cap. I think I got one somewhere, and put the heater hose on, and then we can start kind of mocking up the blower. That's the fun part, or whatever. So we're probably gonna have to definitely go dig through the bolt bin, find us some bolts, because pretty sure we're short a bunch of bolts. I don't have a instruction manual or anything. I mean, pretty self-explanatory. So anyway, man, we got a lot of work to do to this car, but it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be kind of cool when we're done with it. I think it's gonna be kind of fun. Just gotta run a 7. Rob gave us an easy goal, run 7s. Got it. Got a big dog on. We didn't have a bypass cap, so we made something. Got the heater hose on, so now we're gonna put the water pump pulley on, and then we'll start maybe kind of mocking the bracket up, trying to figure out what bolts we're missing or whatever. So it's about to get really cool. We're making it happen now. We've rounded up some bolts, and we've got a old smog pump eliminator with, we don't need the pulley part. And now we can put the alternator and see if we've got a belt that'll work. Fortunately, this kit had the J-strap and stuff with it, which that's always a thing. These things get lost. The little J-strap gets lost, and then it's a son of a gun. They're kind of expensive to buy if you can find one used sometimes. But anyway, so now let me kind of stick the alternator on and kind of see how that whole thing's gonna play out. Before I put the blower head on, I wanted to show you, this is what we're talking about. I wish I knew what size that was because the numbers were rubbed off of it, but I did have one out of my belt collection, and we just had to use the jack to pull the alternator up, and then had everything loose, and then got the J-strap bolted in, tightened up the back to the front. We're missing some spacers. We just made something out of some nuts. So the only other thing we gotta do, I gotta go round up one more bolt for right here to drop in, go through the back, and just give the bracket some more rigidity. And but I can go ahead and put the blower head on now. Then we gotta bolt the tensioner on, and boom goes the dynamite. POWERDYNE and cookies, both will break your wallet and mildly disappoint you. Send them cookies. There we go. I admit this is not a attractive supercharger. I never thought they were great looking, but you know what? Hell, as long as this little bitch runs, that's all that matters. But look at all this progress we made. Water pump, got the blower kind of bolts on. Now what we gotta do is put, like I say, the one bolt in, and we'll put the tensioner deal on, put a belt on this thing. Man, you better get out of my face. We're about to get crazy up in here. We're about to get boosted. But before we do that, that's for when we get back, because now it is lunchtime. All I can say is if you come across Rob Zombie, you better be right with Jesus. You hear what I'm saying? Because we're going to put some stuff down on you. All right. I got to go to lunch. I'm already running late. I just couldn't help myself. I'm like looking at it going, okay, yeah, man, let me put this together. So, all right. Like I say, y'all get right with Jesus now. It is just kind of loosely all thrown together and sort of tightened down. That power pipe is a bad fit on this thing. But whatever. It's on there for the moment. Yeah, so we just got it kind of all thrown together because I just want to hear it run. So let me clear some stuff off the car and I'm going to fire it up. We got no radiator, nothing, no water, but let's see if it'll start off just to charge. Man, I can't get that battery's bad. That sucks. They swap batteries and let's do it. T-5. Sorry for the interruption. Yoda showed up with one of his new, like I say, his partner. His name's Mike. See what's going on. So let's fire it back up. EFI life. Well, I think maybe the fuel pump's gone bad in it. It's making a weird noise back there. I mean, we just put a fuel pump in it. CFI, dude. I'm telling you. Whatever. But, so we're just gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. It's already probably pretty long. So we did get it running. We did make progress. I also don't have my fuel pressure tester out here. It's at home, of course. So, you know, we'll probably, you know, maybe still do the radiator. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. So, you guys will know. Anyway, we did get it. We did run it a little bit. We did make, I feel like, some pretty good progress. You know, getting the supercharger stuff on just to try it out and listen to it. So, you know, one step forward, two steps back. That's the way we do it. So, anyway, thanks for commenting. Sorry, I was lost in a train of thought. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for all the ways you guys support the channel. We couldn't do it without you. Wouldn't want to. But especially, thanks for watching. And until next time on the Substandard Leader and Fox Body videos on this here man's YouTube, 1-year only Lincolns, 4 drag vans, obviously total piles of crap, zombie Mustangs, and as always, fight a good fight against Dr. Fear. We can change the shifter. That's something we could do. We'll see you guys in the next video.